Well, good morning to the Alpine Church of Spiritual Living this morning. I will be reading the thought for the week, so please join me as I get down to that bottom part in the bold. Life is for living, life is for loving, life is for being, period. I'm not sure who first brought the following idea, but it's a good one. We are human beings, not human doings. The topic this Sunday is being free. That means to me that beneath all the strappings and trappings that life brings and offers us, we will retain and remain with our sanity when we have the wherewithal to continually free ourselves of self-imposed restrictions from within. The inner being of us all is pure spirit. I capitalize that because it is a divine spirit giving us an everything, life itself. Acknowledging, worshiping, and leaning on this infinite power and presence is a freeing agent that brings a peace beyond description. We get in trouble when we think we can live life from our own accord. Continuously tapping into our higher self, or whatever you want to call it, brings a sweet confidence to all our endeavors, for we know that there is a greater power living itself through us. Take the time and intention to follow your own inner guidance. Realize life is continuously moving forward, and therefore so must we. As we release the old, we can be free to be in this moment and the next and the next. Nothing binds us more than our own limited acceptance of what life has to offer. This life is infinite in nature. At our heart and soul, we are eternally free to simply be and to experience infinity. Say with me, I am free to be whatever life brings to me. I trust and know I am divinely guided in all my endeavors, and for this I am grateful. I glow with confidence as I release and step forward with ease and grace, and it is so. So I am happy that this month we are focusing on the divine quality of freedom. What is the feeling of freedom like? I want you to just take a deep breath and sink into that feeling of what it's like to be free. Do you feel lighter? Is there a weight lifted from you? Do you have a smile on your face? Do you have any worries or any concerns? As I wrote in the thought, being free brings us a peace beyond description, because there are no worries. We are content with what simply is. Michael Singer's daily calendar for today says, every one of life's experiences is different, and every experience is worth having. Very similar to the little plaque that I've told you about before, that I've had in my bathroom for years. It says, divine right action is always taking place in my life. Only good comes from each experience. Those two quotes to me tell us to stop evaluating, stop judging, stop quantifying, and allow ourselves to just be accepting of what life is giving us now. Because I firmly believe there is one life, and it is the life of God. It is infinite. Each of us is that expression in our own perfect and unique way. Wasn't that a beautiful song we just heard from Charisse? There is only one. There is only one of us that we recognize when we can see with our spiritual eye from within. We are all human beings, not human doings. And yes, I know, I am one of those people that is called a doer. When I took the positive intelligence assessment test, my highest score was hyperachiever. And as I read the pitfalls of being a hyperachiever, they said, competitive, image and status conscious, good at covering up insecurities and showing positive image, goal-oriented and workaholic streak, more into perfecting public image than retrospection, etc. Whew! That sounds like a high list of ego to me. So that's why it's extremely important for me to have the daily constitution, the daily habit of going within and letting my agenda go and listening to that still small voice within, to listen to the agenda of what my divine higher spirit has for me this day. Meister Eckhart wrote, "When the soul enters into the recesses of its being, divine power suddenly pours in." When we go within to the recesses of our being, divine power pours in. That's when we feel the freedom of the spirit that is within us. Are we human? Yes, absolutely. We have a body, we have a brain, we have emotions, we have thoughts. But this is a vehicle through which the divine is operating. There is so much more to us than what we see on this physical plane. And you know that this life is always living itself when? Now, and now, and now. And so beneath all of the appearances of separation, appearances of differences, is this wholeness, is this oneness, is this perfection. And that's how, when we know this realization, we can walk around with a smile on our face, regardless of what experiences come our way. Because we are living in the eternal now, and we are trusting, we are having the faith that life, God, source, energy, love, I don't care what you want to call it, has our back, has our front, has our sides, has our ups, has our downs. This infinite being knows what it is doing as it made each and every one of us. And when we can accept that unity, that oneness with it, then we have freedom, and then we have peace. I believe one of the most important ways that we can allow ourselves to experience this freedom and this peace is by the act of forgiveness. Forgiveness lets go of the shackles of judgment, the shackles of disappointments, the shackles of sadness. When we can forgive ourselves, number one, then we can forgive others. Phil Bolsta wrote in Through the Eyes of God, "Forgiveness is a great purifier. It matters not how long you have hated or how deep the hurt runs. A room can be dark for 10 seconds or 10 years. The moment that light floods the room, the darkness disappears as though it had never been." Feel that. When we are holding resentment, when we are holding unforgiveness, we are living in the darkness. And that is our choice, whether we think we're doing it or not. It totally is our choice to either live in the flood of the light, of the joy, of the love, or in the darkness. Mahatma Gandhi said, "The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong." Feel that strength within you. When you have something that's coming up in your awareness, that little angst of something that needs forgiveness, allow yourself to feel the strength of what you are inside to let it go. Louis B. Smeds wrote, To heal the wounded memory is as natural to the human spirit as it is for the cells of the human body to heal themselves. You know how we're all beautifully made in this physical body with the cells knowing what to do, what they need to draw to themselves, what they need to release. Our psyche is that same way when we can allow ourselves to let it go. One more, Mark Twain. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. Feel that beautiful sense of releasing your fragrance, even in the midst of something that has wounded you. One of the most popular songs that Ricky Beyer ever wrote and ever performed was, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I'm only here for good. I'm only here for love. I love to change out that word God to good. I'm only here for good. And yes, I recognize that that word carries with it a judgment, an evaluation, an assessment. But I like to go back to what Michael Singer's quote was this morning. Every experience is worth having. Every experience is worth having. It's up to me to see the worth in it. There is within us something that is infinite, undescribable, unbelievable to the human psyche. And when we can go within and be fed from it, be enlivened by it, be enlarged from this infinite being, we are living in the freedom of the now. We can release and let go of the wounds and the limitations because we are unshackled. We are a free being when we allow ourselves to celebrate that. Allow yourself to see the oneness, even though we can see division, we can see differences on the surface, but below the surface, there is this unity of oneness that allows us the freedom to accept what is in life. So I ask you to let your heart be light. Let your mind be free. Let your divine, unlimited nature be released and experienced. There can be nothing holding you back when you go within and tap into your source. Simply be. Be that freedom that lets and allows experiences and is a divine, infinite being. You are free to be. And it is so. And so it is. Namaste.